Welcome to Joe's Astrology, and this is the birth chart for Glorilla. And we can see here on the right, that's her birth chart. There's no birth time for her, so we don't know the rising or the houses. We have here, she's a sun in Leo and a moon in Aquarius. One of my favorites, full moon in Aquarius, or full moon in Leo and Aquarius. So before I get into it, we can see here I have her bio, which I'm going to get into in Wikipedia because I don't know that much about her. But just looking at the birth chart first, we can see she's a performer. It says here rapper, singer, songwriter, dancer, and just really a performer in general. Sun in Leo with the North Node in this life. You can see that with the sun and the node, she's meant to live a life somewhat in a fruition state, meaning things are coming to a head, things are happening for her and whatever she's working on. We can see that she has, being in the rap industry, looking at her videos and her music, it's pretty hard. You can see and you think of Leo as being light and playful, but there's much more to Leo than just that, for sure. But if we look more at the chart, we can see that Mars is in Scorpio, where it likes to be. It rules Scorpio, so definitely would correlate with someone being on the hard side. And you see a Pluto, at least from an appearance standpoint. You see the Mars is with Pluto as well by degree. So Mars Pluto definitely going to have some of that. I have a Mars Pluto trine. Or definitely going to have experiences in the life that are more that it could be darker or considered darker. Then we have also a Moon Pluto sextile. Pluto is definitely involved in this chart. We see a Pluto Sun trine, Pluto trine to the node, Pluto Venus, and that's going to include, because there's it's pretty much the same degree as Mars, we can include Mars as well. So if you're listening to her music and you like her, you may find that you're not exactly similar. You may not have similar life, etc., because you may not have these aspects in your chart. You may just like the melody and like her personality. You can see, we can look at let's get into the Wikipedia here a little bit more. So as I said, the success for sure, the sun, north node, the full moon. Early life, she was homeschooled until 5th grade. Homeschooled. We see, if we look here, we can see, this is someone who's different. Moon in Aquarius, Moon Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, together. She was born around 2000. There's a lot of interesting people born around the year 2000. You see the moon Neptune as well. So just this stellium here in Aquarius, and the node, the south node. Even the idea of being homeschooled, coming into life, even though you could say, well, that's kind of contrary to this being out in the public's eye with the sun and Leo north node, coming into life homeschooled, behind the scenes, kind of aloof, Aquarius. It says she started rapping when she was 16, which makes perfect sense. You can see what she's associated with now coming a little bit later, because there's planets on the south node and the north node. It's not as if all the planets were on the north node and some other things in the chart. She may come into life really early as being a rap artist or a performer. You can see growing up, she's part of a church choir. something a little bit more behind the scenes. Initially wanted to be a singer, but lost her voice. But after losing her voice, she decided to switch to rap. So there's that sense of having a desire to be something, but then something traumatic, for lack of a better word. The Aquarius kind of holding her back. This feeling of when planets from the South Node, this feeling of being stuck. Where's the South Node? 12 degrees. 12 degrees, and it's squaring Saturn. It's also squaring Mars. So there's more indication of this back and forth between the nodes in the life. And speaking of Mars and Saturn, some more really tough aspects in the chart that make a person have a tougher life or appear like a tough person. Mars and Saturn in opposition. I have a Mars-Saturn trine. So you can have, you could also have aspects and really like this, like these kind of aspects in your chart, and like this type of energy. I think a lot of people, that's why they like this music. It's not so much that they like the lifestyle, but they like the attitude. She's 8th out of 10 children. Oh, Woods and Cardi B are relatives. Interesting. Here we can look into her career and let's see. Legal disputes. So we can see could be more of that in the future with this Scorpio energy. Mars and Scorpio, the Mars opposite Saturn in Scorpio Taurus. Personal life. She went to college prep in Memphis. So not really much here. I would say this idea of going to a prep school also could be associated with Aquarius. So if we look back, come back here to the chart, some other things, the idea of being a performer again, moon, Neptune, having Neptune involved, having this Neptune-Jupiter square. Neptune-Jupiter, I see it a lot in these charts with famous people or more successful people. I mean, it could mean a lot of things, but we could say we're looking at Jupiter really affecting the dream life, affecting the dreams and really expanding the dreams, expanding that type of Pisces lifestyle. Being someone that's looked up to, Jupiter, Neptune. As far as money goes, we see the planets and we see the Jupiter, Saturn in Taurus. That's ruled by Venus, the planet that's associated with money, Taurus, and it's making a trine. She has a Jupiter-Venus trine, and that would be a very fortunate aspect in astrology, especially in Earth signs. And we can see when I do Sexy Red's chart, she has a Jupiter-Venus trine in Pisces. Venus and Virgo, I just did a video on Venus and Virgo. If you want to check that out. This is somebody who, if you come back up here, this is somebody who, even though she appears the way she appears, being like really out there and a performer, you don't really associate with thinking with someone like that. But look at all this mental energy. She has Mercury retrograde in Leo, so that's really going to look to Aquarius. This is a thinker. Very intelligent person. Venus in Virgo. And this Venus is making an inconjunct to that moon in Aquarius. So you could expect to, I wouldn't be surprised if later in life there's more changes to what she looks like now. She's really young, 25 years old, especially when as she gets older, she hits her Saturn return, because this Virgo, having all this Mercury energy and this Virgo and the Leo really leads to kind of, I wouldn't say a downfall, or a humiliation, but just this idea of rethinking things, reviewing things, and what she wants to do with her life. Especially someone this successful that would have success in their life and have gained some power of some sort with her status. And you can see Pluto is going to make a transit. Right now, it's currently transiting Neptune. And oftentimes, when you see Pluto transiting Neptune, it hits that, everyone pretty much has a sextile between Pluto and Neptune. And when Neptune hits, especially when there's no planets here, from what I see usually, that they're getting that whatever's to be is happening when Pluto hits that transits that Neptune. But then you can see she's going to have a Pluto moon transit, Pluto south node transit, Pluto's Uranus transit, and that's going to really shake things up in the next 5 to 10 years. And it's also making a square to these things, so maybe we'll see more legal disputes from her. And you can even see that it's interesting. What's interesting too is that her name, Gloria Hallelujah, and as I said, she grew up in the church, and we see this a lot with people growing up in the church and then getting away from the church. And I can tell you right now, this is just speculation, by the way, if she hasn't done the work and really knows what she's doing by getting away from the church, there's a high likelihood that she comes back to the church. We see this with Mace. I've done Mace's chart, where Mace would have been someone that, I don't know the whole story, but I know that he came back to the church and became a pastor. So, some people would say that about astrologers and whatnot, that maybe they're getting away from the church. But if you haven't done what I mean by doing the work, if you don't know what Christianity is, and you don't know how this whole thing works, there is a likelihood that at some point with a chart like this, you're going to come back to the church. And there's that back and forth. We can see Neptune's involved, and Jupiter. And this Venus and Earth, this Venus trine Neptune. Neptune being, and Jupiter being associated with the church and religion. So I'm going to leave you there with that, and hope you enjoy that. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.